So the four of us, we've joined together to create this documentary on a topic that impacts deafness.
And deaf culture. We wanted to focus on the idea of preferred terms for groups in American culture.
And the positive and negative language surrounding deafness and deaf culture.
So our main question is, how will people respond to our interview questions based on positive or negative framing?
The term hearing impaired is inherently negative as it implies an impairment or a loss.
Whereas the term lowercase d or capital D deaf is more objective and considered a positive term in the deaf community.
In this project, you will see us asking people if deafness is a positive or a negative thing.
We will ask in two different ways.
First, with negatively framed language, do you think hearing impaired is a positive or negative thing?
And then you'll see us asking with a positively framed question. Do you think being deaf is a positive or negative thing?
We're interested to see if the language framing changes people's answers.
Let's have a look.
Alright,
Ready? Do you think being hearing impaired is a positive or negative thing?
negative,
And do you think being deaf is a positive or negative thing?
negative,
Do you think being hearing impaired is a positive or negative thing?
I would say positive.
Thanks.
Okay. Do you think being hearing impaired is a positive or negative thing?
negative,
Thank you. If you're deaf, is that a negative or a positive? Negative.
Do you think being hearing impaired is a positive or negative thing?
negative.
Negative.
Being deaf is a positive or negative thing?
Positive or negative thing?
I think it depends on like the person who it's happening to, because I've known people that are deaf and they like see life so differently from other people, and it's like to them it's a great positive thing. They wouldn't want to let me back. But for me, since I know what it's like actually here, that I'm like, yeah, I would not want that.
Okay, so negative for you, but maybe positive for other people. Thanks.
Language influences the way we feel about different things in society.
I think the way that we describe things, like the connotation, like whether it be positive or negative, creates like a bias of how we feel about them. So if I talk to you with like a negative context, you're gonna like know that I feel negatively about it, and then you might get a negative feeling about it. So it all depends on the connotation.
Do you think that somebody who's deaf is a part of what's normal in U.S. society, or is that
I
like...
think they have different limitations, I guess. Like they can't do as much as a normal person can who can hear everything.
Okay, so normal would be a hearing person.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
In terms of deafness, is this seen as abnormal?
Yeah, I mean not for deaf people, but for people who aren't used to it, I would think it's abnormal.
And when you say abnormal, is that like a negative thing?
No, I think it's just like it's not seen as something that people are used to because it's not a very common thing.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
What do you think it means to be normal in society?
Oh gosh, that's a hard one. So with society, like normative is basically whatever fits in with what, you know, society wants you to do or tells you to do, or, you know, what's most profitable for like the consumer culture that we live in.
Definitely. Okay, so it's determined by people who have power.
Social structure with a hierarchy.
Definitely.
And there are definitely people who fit the normative structure and are therefore put in a position of power and thus have privilege over those who are marginalized for not fitting a normative identity.
The people who are more normal tend to have more power.